Welcome to this video that discusses how to use a process mining dashboard. Now, these can be set up in several different ways. This particular dashboard has 4 different tabs across the bottom. On the first Overview tab, you can see the company is represented, page plants, and a few details about this revenue cycle, number of sales, number of process variants, etc. When you go to the next tab, the Variant Explorer, this is where the magic of process mining happens. The screen is set up so that you have, here is your process mining map, and over here are different selections you can do. If you want to select all variants, you select everything by using this drop-down box to see everything. If you want to select an individual variant, like variant 3, you can just click on it. You can select any number of variants you want. You can also click more if you want to select, rather than all of them, just the top 10 variants, for example. And for any variant, once it's selected, you can click on the little play button, and you'll see these little spheres that go through and show you the path that that variant takes. So how all the different transactions go through the cycle. I zoomed out. You can zoom in and out with this button. You can also say, instead of selecting most common variant, which you want to be number 1, you can change it based on throughput times as well. I'll go back to set this back a little bit. Over here, you can select what is being shown. So this is case frequency. How many cases have this transaction go from process start to the first activity, etc. So you can see if I expand this to 3, that 296 cases went from create the sales order to receiving payment, whereas 719 went from creating the sales order to credit approval. You can also change this to how much time it takes to do things. So if we go through this, you can pick whether you want days, hours, or minutes. 5 minutes from this step to here on average, 215 hours from this step to this step. Down here, you can also click to do other filtering to show those that have different activities or those that are missing, and to show them in different ways. Finally, over here, you can click to see which variants, how many variants there are in total. There's 18, and what percentage of the cases they cover. So variant number 7 is 6% of the transactions, or 143 transactions. You can also filter. If I click on an activity, I can say I want to see, let me select everything so we have something meaningful to show you. I might say I want to see every transaction where credit was approved. So I can click on that and say all transactions with this, which is just over 1,000, 1.13 thousand, or I can say all those that don't have this. So if I click without, this is every transaction that doesn't have a credit approval process. And you'll notice the filter gets applied up here at the top of the screen and will continue across any tab. So if I go to the Overview tab, that filter is still applied. You can then see which of the different variants don't have that particular activity. You can also filter for multiple things. So I could say I just want to see those with the connection from create sales order to picking ticket. So all those that also have credit not approved, and do that. If I click with this, I can keep that selection. You can see now I'm just down to 5 variants that have this particular pattern, 18%, where they don't have the credit approval process and where sales order is directly after create picking ticket is directly after creating the sales order. Creating the picking tickets directly after that. So that's how you can use the Variant Explorer. If you go over to Transaction Details, this shows the details of all the transactions. And you'll notice you can sort by transaction ID and select just different transaction IDs. You can also say I want to just sort by credit denied. If I click on this yes, you'll notice the activity up here. All of these are just transactions where credit was denied. It was 348 transactions with $691,000 of orders that you could have had if you didn't deny credit. You can say I want to see just transactions by employee by clicking on that and sorting. You can also do it by employee role or customer name. Each of the activities or each of the columns can also be sorted. You'll see sort 1 and then the second sort, or sort 1 you can change it to descending and ascending, or click on it again to get rid of it. You can also search. So if I want to search for employees' names that look like Esmeralda, I can get all of those by employee names. Now notice this filter will stay blue here, but is not applied up to the bar up here. So if I go back to the Variant Explorer, this filter is not applied. If you want the filter to appear at the top, you can click on it and then say keep that filter, and now you can see the 808 transactions that Sofia Esmeralda was related to. All right, this does work across other ones. So again, like we said, if I want to see everything, all of the different variants that inventory clerks have done, I can select on that, and then I can go back to the Variant Explorer, and I'm just seeing those that an inventory clerk was involved in somehow in the process. Finally, we have the Segregation of Duties tab. What this lists is all of the different possible activities down this axis, and then the different titles of people on this axis. So if we go down to shredding remittance, it's done 234 times by accounting clerks and 1,078 times by sales managers. So you can look and start to see, are the right people performing the right tasks? If you want to filter, you can click on the name in this column and say, I just want to see shredding the remittance. And I can also click on the title. So now I'm only seeing the 1,078 activities that the sales manager shredded the remittance. So if I came back over to Variant Explorer, I could see the different variants that takes. And if I go to Transaction Details, I could look at this and start to see maybe, for example, oh, I need to take off employee name. I could see what are the sales managers who did the shredding. And it looks like it's a whole bunch of different sales managers who's doing that. So those are different ways you can filter. You can look between the different tabs, and it works really great. You can start on the Variant Explorer and try to find something that's problematic here, and then see who's the problem by looking at the transaction details. You can also get an idea of the magnitude of the problem. So all sorts of different ways to use this. Good luck on the problem. Hope you enjoy process mining.